Good evening to you. Today, a man accused of killing 3 people in a Danville store took the stand as the judge heard arguments over evidence in the case.
The issue, a conversation investigators say that Kenneth Keith had with a pastor after the murders. His attorneys don't want it to be included as evidence. Police say in 2013, Kenneth Keith killed Michael and Angela Hawkinsmith and customer Daniel Smith in the Hawkinsmith's Danville store. Sean Moody has our top story at 6.
Tracy Harold is a pastor at a church in Michigan. He said he and Keith knew each other as their churches held functions together. On the stand, he recounted a conversation with Keith in the hours after Mike and Angela Hawkinsmith and Daniel Smith were shot and killed. He said Keith's tone changed when Harold said it sounded like the murders were a hit and that the Hawkinsmiths were innocent victims.
They ain't innocent. They cost me a lot of money.
So they seemed upset?
Very, yes, sir.
Harold said he talked to a detective in Danville about recording more calls between him and Keith. Those calls happened in October.
What was the purpose of that phone call?
Was to record the conversation of me talking to Alan and perhaps what he had told me that Friday night of when I called him initially, all the details that he told me, to perhaps see if he would say that again.
Keith's attorney argued that these conversations should be private, covered as privileged parishioner statements, because he says Harold was talking to Keith as a pastor, even though he wasn't technically in his congregation. Keith said he talked about feeling badly about how his business relationship with the Hawkinsmiths had ended.
That's the reason that I'm calling Pastor Harold to talk to him about it, to get these things off of my chest in a private manner. I'm calling at his invitation. I was speaking to him on a church phone in a church office. I believe these things to be private, and with the hopes that he would do as he had always done, give me some advice, give me some spiritual guidance.
Now, both Keith and the Commonwealth said there's nothing in those recordings that would amount to a confession. Keith says he doesn't have that burden to confess to. In Danville, Sean Moody, WKYT.
The judge did not make a ruling on the issue today. The next hearing in the case is February 2nd.